He saw her first on a Tuesday, the way twilight clung to her shoulders like gold spun by hands unseen. Her hair was rivers spilling over soft hills of collarbone, eyes twin galaxies, and in that moment all he wanted was to orbit her, to pull tides just by standing close. Her child a quiet shadow at her hip, an afterthought to him, because she was the finest thing his heart had ever carved itself for. He thought of her constantly, the curve of her wrist like crescent moons, lips red as dusk falling into night, and he, a man with too many empty spaces, wanted to fill them all with her name. The days turned to thoughts, the thoughts into a single moment. He found her again beneath a low moon. The air between them was electric, crackling like whispers in a crowded room, his desire thick, warm, and all-consuming. He took her hand, the pulse in her veins a melody only he could hear, and pressed his lips to her palm as if to seal an unspoken promise. He led her to the edge of the night, and when he touched her, skin soft and inviting, he tried to pull her closer, to unwrap the mystery of her body. But his fingers met only flatness, as if her flesh had forgotten its depth, turned smooth, sheer like glass. He leaned in, confused, and found his reflection staring back at him from her belly. The skin no longer skin, but a cold, transparent pain, turning pixel by pixel into glass so thick he could no longer see her behind it. The world itself folded and shifted. Glass into cubes, cubes into prisms, prisms flattening to shards of stained glass. Kaleidoscopic images of her holding her child in the dark. And then the words, faint at first but growing louder, reverberated through the air. This is the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. Happy are those who are called to his supper. His breath caught, heart frozen, eyes fixated on hers, the child's on him, their gaze searing through his skin like they knew every corner of him, every secret left in shadow, the faithful forming a cue, a terror beyond desire. Petrified, he turned, bolted through the night, but as he ran, the walls around him stretched into archways, pillars of stone, and the darkness bled into light, candles flickering in rows, an altar in the distance. He blinked and woke, his hands trembling in the pew, the voice of the priest echoing softly, "Behold the Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world." And there she was, not flesh, not warmth, but a figure suspended in glass, a stained glass Mary, her child cradled in the crook of her arm, eyes calm, serene, watching him. His heart still thudding in his chest, he realized it had always been her, the virgin's image he'd fallen for, his obsession with the sacred, distorted by dreams. The faithful filed to the altar, and he sat frozen, as the echoes of his desire shattered against the quiet holiness of the church.